Welcome back to the Joe Mobley Show. I am Joe Mobley, your host. And if you're new to the show, this is where we talk about being an uncloseted conservative, which I define as being able to share your thoughts, opinions, and beliefs no matter the situation or the consequences. But tonight, we have a special episode. Guys, I launched this thing as a podcast on November 30th of last year. And year one is always kind of a crazy journey. I did not think that I would be doing YouTube or Locals and Rumble, all these other platforms. I was like, Pat Flynn, he drew me in. He was like, oh, it's such a low bar to set to come into podcasting. You can record yourself on your phone. And now we've got all this gear and lights and cameras and all of this. Well, not bullcrap, but stuff that we use. I launched on YouTube, I think in June, something like that. I'm selling merchandise online, and this is the craziest thing, but I actually have fans. It's you guys. You watch the show. A lot of you write in. You send me stuff, which is really cool. And, I just remembered I was going to share some of that stuff, but it's not on my desk, so I'm not. But we've got a show like no other. It's going to be a celebration. It's going to take a good while. So if you're used to the 8:30 to 9:30, we're going to drink a lot of alcohol and probably go a bit past that and play some games. We've got guests that you know and love, people that have been with me for 365 days and people that have been with me for as little as 5 days. I hope you guys enjoy this 1 year, The Joe Mobley Show celebration. All right. So this guy's been here since about the beginning.
Yeah.
So Taylor, tell them how we met. And
I believe we met through Locals, and I also hope you'll forgive my lopsided background. We met through Locals through, let's call it friendly disagreement. I was on Locals as a California conservative. That's how your guests probably know me, the host of Contrarix. And we met through some COVID talk and some vaccine talk. And ever since then, we've been going back and forth for various topics. I think you've done a great job growing in the last year. You've done a phenomenal job tackling the Loudoun County stuff and the education stuff over there. I think it's really tailored to your strengths, and I'm proud to have seen how far you've gotten in such a short amount of time. A lot of people start podcasts. I have watched many, and they fizzle out in a couple months. They certainly don't go a year, and you're one of the few that stuck through it. So congratulations on your year, and I'm excited to see where you go from here.
Thanks, man. And of course, Taylor's got his own podcast. And I finally remembered to put all of the links in the description before the show started. So it's there right now. Taylor Ealand, it's spelled correctly. And it's, I think it's Contrarix.com is what I put down there. And that's the name of his podcast. It's just Contrarix. It's really awesome. Here's what I like about Taylor. One, this guy scrutinizes all of my tweets, which is great.
Every single one.
Yeah, which is great because most of us, our friends just offer us lip service. You know how your friend wears that slutty dress and you're like, no, girl, you're good. But you see that same outfit on someone else, same dimensions and everything. It's like she's a whore. Taylor calls his friends whores, and I appreciate that because so do I. And he did find my only 2 completely fake news tweets, like it was a hoax that I had retweeted and it was from someone that should have been reputable. Yeah, those tweets are still there, but they're totally verifiably false. So guys, find more friends like Taylor. We butt heads online all the time, and we're not canceling each other, and we still follow each other's stuff, and he still reads my stupid tweets.
Yep. It's great. It's great. If you want to see how I piss off liberals and conservatives on a regular basis, Twitter's a great place to find me. Taylor Ealand, I'm sure it's down there as well. And yeah, no, Joe and I, we butt heads a lot, often on COVID, I think, more than anything else.
COVID's our hot button issue.
Yeah, you can say, as a Californian born and raised, there are just some things that happen when you're raised in that culture. But other than that, I appreciate your company. I appreciate the fact that we go back and forth, and we go back and forth privately too. It's great.
Oh yeah, 100%. So tell us how did your 2021 go? That's the theme of tonight for everybody listening. We've got guests on deck. We've got guests watching at home. The basic thing is hey, how did we meet? How did your 2021 go? And what are you looking forward to in 2022? And hopefully you brought some kind of drink. Taylor, you posted about whiskey, so I grabbed my whiskey, which was the only whiskey that we had in the house, which is I'm a whiskey guy. So now we're even closer friends.
There you go.
So how'd your 2021 go, man?
So it's been lots of ups and downs. I've, started the year, it was obviously pandemic. I was in law school, Zoom University, graduated in May on the high of that. Look for jobs in California after moving back from Washington State. Got a job, took the bar, didn't get it the first time. Don't go to Zoom University for law school, kids. And so I'll be retaking that next year. That's one of the low points, is I didn't quite pass the bar. But it's been a relatively good year, all things considered. Many people lost their jobs. Many people are struggling with work. I don't find myself in that boat. I've been fairly lucky. All I can say is, if you take education seriously and don't take yourself too seriously, and life tends to be better, as far as I'm aware. 2022, really what I'm hoping for at this point is that people kind of chill out a little bit. As always, the online political discourse is always something else. And granted, I don't help on Twitter, but if you follow me on Twitter, you'll understand I'm an asshole on Twitter. It's one of those things where what I really want to see is just people acting more like they do in real life, because I noticed that most people, when you actually talk to them like you and I talk on a regular basis, most people are normal, most people are friendly, most people aren't actually wanting to rip each other's heads off. We may have disagreements, whatever that may be, whether it be abortion, gun, COVID, whatever. You can still, see the humanity in each other, and I'm hoping that the U.S. continues down that trend. Some days it doesn't feel like it, some days it does. We'll see how it goes. That's what I'm hoping for, though, for 2022.
Awesome. So that's what we will drink to. People, chill out in 2022. That's the thing to do. Taylor?
Yes. Cheers. Thank you.
It's good to see you, brother. All right. So we're going to move on to our next guest, which this is awesome because we squeezed 2 minutes in, which is great because we've got some guests that are in the schedule down below, and we've got some surprise guests for you guys. And one of those surprise guests is Pat Brown. You know her, you love her. She's been on the show, I think, twice now. Pat, how are you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me? Because I'm on my iPad and not my.
We can.
Oh, okay. Because I couldn't pull up Twitter on my laptop. I'm like, so I couldn't get the link. So here I am.
Hey, it works. And I encourage people to do this on their phone even. You can start YouTube, you can start podcasts, whatever, just on your phone.
But you got so many pieces of equipment. I've got the iPhone, I've got 2 laptops, I've got my iPad, and normally for any of my streams I do on my big laptop, but I don't have Twitter on there, and I'm like, I don't remember what my Twitter handle is.
I was going to say, Pat, you've got it all, because I've watched some of your streams and you do it live, like in person all the time, answering questions.
I do.
Yours
like
is the only. Yeah. So Pat is a recovering criminal profiler, and she has an awesome channel.
What am I recovering from? I'm still a criminal profiler. I'm recovering from.
Well, you used to be reputable until it came out that you were conservative, and now you're, what is it, like crackpot profiler, I think is what Joy Reid would call you.
I have 2 separate worlds. I've had to separate them, because anybody who doesn't really know my situation, I was on TV for many moons, like a decade and a half, and everything was pretty good. I actually left TV because I didn't like the way the media, the agendas that were there. And then when I was brought on, it was like they would like set me up to attack me. And this isn't even about politics. This is just, well, let's bring her in because she disagrees with our agenda. And then we'll bring her in, we'll get a panel out there, and then we'll make fun of her. I'm like, this isn't the way things used to be. You used to say, you're an expert, so we're going to bring you in and discuss things. And it didn't go that way after a while. And I became very disenchanted with the way the media worked. So I walked away and was off media for almost how many years, 5-6 years now or something. So at any rate, during the election season, I came out as a conservative, and that didn't really go well. And so a lot of people followed me on Facebook and Twitter, went, I always thought you were really smart, but now I know better. So then they would, got rid of me. And it's really sad because, and this is something that I feel very strongly about, once upon a time, you could get together in a bar and you'd say, oh, you're a Democrat, I'm a Republican. And you didn't hate each other. It's just that you might be a little more this way. Might be a little more that way. But then again, sometimes I might say, you got some good points there, or your candidate has good points. And then you had a beer and you all went home. And now it's like, the separation now is like an earthquake hit and separated us into two different continents. And so you can't even be civil anymore because how dare you think a different way than me? And so it's been pretty sad. But so as I started my YouTube channel with criminal profiling, I just pretty much had to like separate politics over here, criminal profiling here with no politics. I let my son, Dave Brown, who has the new populist channel. Is that the name of it? I should know my son. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And I think that's his Twitter handle too.
Thank you. What a terrible mother. Anyway, Dave, for anybody who doesn't know, my son Dave and I wrote a book called Black and White. And it was great that Joe had us on the show to talk about the book a number of times. And he started a YouTube channel called The New Populist. And so I let him have the politics end of it, and I'm doing the criminal profiling end of it. Doesn't mean I've changed my thoughts, but I'm just kind of separating the two things because people can't separate. Like they'll say something like, I'm never going to watch that movie because that actor in it said something I don't like.
Yeah, Blazing Saddles gone. Canceled.
No, I don't mean the content of the movie. I mean the actor is somebody that you don't like too much, or the author is somebody you don't like. Like, for example, the book Lolita. You know the book Lolita?
No.
Oh, okay. Famous book about a man who grooms a woman's child, and because he's interested in the child. Now, I'm telling you, the dude that wrote that book, I'm going to say he probably himself, I don't think I want to meet him in real life because I think he's only going from his own mind and experience. But it's a really interesting book. So I still like the book. I don't have to hate the book. And even in criminal profiling, I have a book I particularly recommend. And the author of that book and I have not gotten along in the past. I mean, we're talking about almost 20 years of not getting along. He said some things about me that aren't very nice, but he wrote a really good book, and I want people to read that book because they're going to learn a lot from it.
It sounds like what you're describing is just called maturity.
Well, it's called not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So, we don't have to, because we disagree in a certain way, throw away everything that person has been connected to or that they've accomplished. Because some people have accomplished really good things and maybe they changed their political perspective, but they still did great things in the past. I mean, we don't have to hate everything about everybody every moment. So,
100%. Well, Pat, in about 30 seconds, tell us, what are you looking forward to in 2022?
Oh, good Lord. I hope what we find is that people realize that too far to one side or too far to the other side does not help anything out. That this new apartheid that we live in, that's something I really want to get rid of. I just saw I think Black Lives Matter just came out with Black Christmas. Don't only support black owned businesses. Don't support any white owned businesses because they're white supremacists and are capitalists, which kind of proves our point in our book that Dave and I wrote, that Black Lives Matter is a Marxist organization. It's not about getting the races together. It's about separating them, and it's a Marxist organization. And that kind of thing, I would like to see that go away. I'm so tired.
So extremism, left or right, is bad. Don't do it, people.
Yeah, I'm so tired of, your skin color is everything about you. It isn't, and skin color means culture. No. Your culture is under the skin, not your skin. It's just, I want it to go away. I'm just so sick of it. I want to not have to think of everything in racial terms forever and ever and ever. It's just annoying.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Pat. And if you could stick around and play the games at the end or go off and come back on, you're more than welcome.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you made 1 year, Joe. That is fantastic. I mean,
thanks.
Yeah, you're one of my faves. Okay.
Thanks, Pat.
Congratulations.
Bye. All right. So you know and love this author as well, Miss Jennifer Bosma, who wrote The Baby Garden. Guys, I left all of my props. The Baby Garden's over there. Black and White's over there. Taylor
I
didn't
brought
send
it
any
in.
props. Yes, there it is. Author of The Baby Garden, a warrior for the kingdom. What I describe as a Joshua 1:9 woman, bold and courageous.
Aw.
Miss Jennifer, how are you?
Thank you, Joe. I am great. And first, congratulations, 1 year in. That is a big challenge to do a podcast 1 year in. That's amazing. Very good.
It's changed a lot. Thank you.
Hey, I have to ask you, this is something I always ask my class. What is your high, low, and what did you learn from the year?
High and low. One of the things that I'll do the last one first. I'm definitely learning, and it's so weird. But I have fans, but I also have influence, which is strange for me because I've always influenced like my soldiers in my squad, law enforcement officers when I was working at the jail, the people around me, my family, my church, my worship ministry. But now I truly run into fans in the Northern Virginia area. I run into fans everywhere, which is nuts. And people who've known me my whole life that I haven't talked to for decades will call. They're like, I've seen you on TV or on the news or on this or that. What you're doing is important. When I met Mike Pence, he grabbed my hand. He pulled me in. I've got a picture of him wagging his finger. He said, your voice is important. And either he has a hell of a prep guy or he actually heard of me and referenced one or two episodes, like things that I had said in speeches. So either he has an incredible prep team. So I know that there are some new responsibilities with whatever this influence is going to be. The high and the low. The high was probably coming up with the brand. Here I've got my props. The Uncloseted Conservative. I piss people off everywhere.
And that's how I spotted you on the streets in Alexandria. We saw that shirt, and it was like we were magnets. It was great. Yeah,
that's so true. We were walking around. Jennifer doesn't even live here, and we're walking around in an old town in Alexandria. And yeah, me and my stupid hat. But I wear this hat. This hat starts more conversations that lead to the cross and the problem of evil. Than any evangelism tactic that I learned at Liberty. And I learned a lot of them. And the low is probably, I can't think of it. The low is the professional situation. I'm leaving my job and all of that nonsense with mandates and just seeing what has happened to our country. That's the low for sure.
Definite low. Right. And what'd you learn? The biggest thing, the biggest takeaway after a year of podcasting, what'd you learn?
The things that I do and say matter more than I know to some group of people.
Right.
So I think the Bible says something about that.
Well, you know what? I mean, you're a voice, and you're speaking for so many people who feel they can't speak. And I think it takes a step of courage and boldness to be able to speak your mind. And that's kind of how I feel too about, being very proactive and just being that life is worth protecting. And I think, talking about, I know you mentioned, what you learn in 2021 is that there's so many, my goal is to change hearts. And we have to change hearts so that people can see that a baby is a baby from the beginning. And sucking its thumb at 8 weeks when they think that it's okay to take that abortion pill. No, your baby's sucking its thumb at 8 weeks. And I think it's just really getting out there and getting to change the hearts and person by person. And today has been such a big day in the Supreme Court. And I feel there is a positive flow of goodness that people are seeing life and when it begins at conception. And I frequently have told people that were contemplating having an abortion, I would say, you will never regret having this child. God has created this person. It may not have been your plan, but it has been his plan, like in Jeremiah 1:5, since the beginning of time. He is a plan. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. That's not Jeremiah 1:5, but that's one of the strong ones, with the baby garden. And now it's in over 235 pregnancy centers. So I do feel that it's getting to be something that the pregnancy centers can use as a tool to hope a mama chooses life when she's sitting in that waiting room, waiting to see her ultrasound, which is great, so she can maybe choose life. So if this is something that happens with that, and this is a tool, I'm all like praising. So hope to see more momentum and getting it out more. Just for that message.
My son loves your book. He loves to read. My oldest son, because I do have baby Gabriel now.
You
in 7
do?
weeks. And yeah.
Gabriel's 2 months old? 2 months?
Just about. He's 7 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, super exciting. So I'll have to send you some pictures after this.
Yes, you do. I love that. I love that you're on Instagram now. Now I can follow you. I'm so proud of you, Joe. You're on Instagram.
Thanks.
Great.
Well, Jennifer Bosma, I can't thank you enough. I'm so glad that we ran into each other, literally two strangers, you and your friend and me and my family walking in Old Town. What are you looking forward to in 2022?
I think just getting more momentum for people for being a voice for life and doing it in a loving, kind way. And I think that's what I've learned. I've had some people yell at me and say really hateful things that I'm pro-life. But you know what? You just have to come and know that they're hurting and they want to talk and they don't know what to do. So if we can be calm and be a voice for that preborn baby, then that is all we can do. And I just want to continue that and also listen. I think in 2022, you always have the goals. I want to stop and listen more to people and really hear their heart instead of just jumping in with everything I've learned and about this. And it can be in any realm of life, in the pro-life movement or just in general with people and being present in the moment. So.
Awesome. Well, I've never called you Jen. Like tonight was the first time.
That's
I've always
good.
said Jennifer.
No, my family calls me Jenny. It's weird. I just went to Jennifer when I was teaching, and I was 22 years old, and it sounded a little bit more professional saying Jennifer. But you can call me Jen. You can call me Jenny. You can call me anything.
All right. Well, that is what we'll drink to for 2022. Is that pro-life message gets out? Braves.
And I had a deal. I'm like, okay, what can I bring? The Braves. We were just so excited for our Braves. Cheers.
All right. So like always, you're welcome to stay to the end or leave and come back. We're going to play a couple of games. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Probably going to have more alcohol between now and then. But
that sounds good.
It's good to see you, Jennifer.
Thanks, Joe. Congratulations on your year. More to come.
Bye. All right, two Okie girls back to back, but I've known you like literally the longest. Guys, not an unfamiliar voice at all. Literally my first episode guest. It all began with Gummalla, and so good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing good. I felt like I should celebrate with raising the roof. So that also ages me by so much because I don't even know if anybody does that.
We are millennials, dang it.
Can they bring that back? I want to be bringing that back in the high schools right now.
We are still millennials, okay?
It's true. It's true. Whenever I found out that people older than me were millennials, I was like, oh, okay, I'm good.
So did you get this like champagne martini thing? Because I'm like, oh my gosh, if Anna's coming with a champagne martini, I have to like step up my game.
Brought it here, got my little bottle here. That way I could really make sure the bubbles would show up on your camera today. So congratulations, Joe. I'm so excited for you. I know I'm cheersing you now, but cheersing.
For the class, I'll change from the whiskey to the Chianti here. You got to step up your game when Anne's in town.
Yes. So, well, congratulations. I'm so excited for you.
Thanks so much.
It's hard to believe it's been a year, huh?
Yeah, it literally is. I don't believe it. So, but here we are.
Yeah.
So, everyone's saying the same thing. Getting the same questions. How is your 2021 and what are you looking forward to in 2022?
My 2021 was actually really good. We experienced a lot of good things in my life personally, which is awesome. And I know that the world has definitely gone up and down in many ways. My husband's mom was actually able to come over for Christmas and Thanksgiving. So she's here with us right now. So that was a huge blessing because we haven't seen her since we got married. And so lots of good things have happened in 2021. I think 2022, one thing I'm looking forward to is just seeing and, taking it more from the spiritual lenses of just kind of whatever God has in store, one thing I've seen out here, and if for whoever has listened to the podcast with me on it, you know, I live in California, and we've been seeing a lot of wonderful things happen just in an individual conversation basis, and also even just politically too. It's been awesome to see the different candidates run. I mean, gosh, even though Larry Elder didn't win, it was awesome to see that he was able to even make it into like a recall ballot to be able to try to get different values into the state. And I was funny because we were driving from LAX down to Orange County whenever my mother-in-law arrived, and we saw a giant billboard that was like, listen to Larry Elder. And so it's really cool because I never really saw that whenever I first moved here. And so I'm excited to see how all that's going to continue to grow. And kind of what Jennifer said in the last call, just listening to people and engaging in conversations and continuing to just be truthful but in love, and yeah, just see what the world has next. I know it's going to get crazier before it gets better. So, but we're just going to buckle up.
There's that Oklahoma coming out. Buckle
100%,
up.
100%. So, absolutely. Oh man, what about you? What are you looking forward to? I know you probably have already answered it multiple times, but
I am looking forward to my new job. Well, here's the thing. I'll announce it here for the first time. I've not announced this anywhere
I love
else. But I am kind of bittersweet, unfortunate, but it is going to be a good thing. I am leaving Accenture Federal Services. A lot of people know that I, you know, work there as a security manager for millions of dollars of classified stuffs. But no longer. I'm giving the government secrets back. I am not using, for the first time in like a decade, I will not be using my super ultra whatever security clearance, and I'm going to be a plain civilian for the first time since I was 18. So,
oh my goodness.
And I'm 32, guys. But more than
Cheers
that,
to
I'm
that.
so
Cheers
excited.
To new adventures.
Thank you. I'm so excited about my new job. I accepted. I haven't published on LinkedIn or anything, but there's a company called HSP Direct. They're a direct mail marketing agency. And like, I hate to tell you guys, if you get like a cool letter from Ted Cruz or someone, it's not actually from him. It's from who's going to be one of my bosses. But I'll be their new director of account management. So
that's so awesome. Congratulations.
First week of January. Thanks.
I'll be the first to say
excited.
Congrats, at least on this end. So
yeah, well, the only people that know are family and no friends. So just family and you and YouTube. So
I love it. And YouTube. I think news will get out soon then.
Yeah, I'm telling my former colleagues, I started telling them today that I'm leaving the firm. Anyway,
gotcha.
This is a celebration. We're not going down that road.
Absolutely.
And I hope that you can stay or come back. You can get Pratik and Mama Pratik, because the games are going to be fun. And we'll probably get to them in about 15 minutes, maybe.
Okay. Sounds good.
Here's the scoop. We're playing Caption This. We're going to caption some funny photographs. And then we're playing Would You Rather with the either.io tool online. And I played a couple of rounds by myself earlier, and it's just the most ridiculous game. Anyway, it gets more ridiculous the more that you don't even need alcohol for these games. They're just that good.
Awesome.
And it's so good to see you. You guys need to come and visit, because we're probably not allowed in California. When we get off the plane, they'll be like, Joe Mobley, do not accept. They
scan you. You're too conservative.
Yeah, basically. I'll set off all kinds of alarms. Plus, A.G. Garland is investigating me, DOJ and the evil parents.
Oh, gotcha. Right.
So I'm definitely on a no-fly list. Like, I fully believe that. I could look, but I'm not gonna. Anyway.
I love it. Well,
and
I'll do
what are we cheering to?
Cheering to you, new adventures. You made it a year, and there's so much more in store for you. I'm so excited to see what's next.
Thanks,
awesome.
Ann.
Yes.
I'm going to have to try this. All right. So the two Okies have to be on the screen at the same time for just a second. You guys just missed each other. We were all in the same Bible study, like Ann went and Dr. Ashley Brady, chiropractor extraordinaire, came right after you left. So you guys just missed each other. So here we'll boot Ann And Ashley will
Yes.
be the new Anne. Ashley, how are you? It says you're muted. I don't know if that's true.
Hey, oh, I just unmuted myself. Gotta love technology.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. I want to look at everyone's picture because I haven't seen these people in so long. Oh my gosh.
I know, it's been a wild year.
Can I say, so a year in, we have to look behind the curtain a little bit. Can I say I've grown, I think, a lot as an interviewer. I have a ton of growth left ahead of me. But I'll say about Ashley's episode that Ashley and I, you were my most pre-interview nerves guest. So we have a green room conversation, guys, where we get in here and we just talk. And Ashley and our conversation was like 90 minutes. And then the interview was awesome. And you got better and better as we went. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want this to be like a 5-hour interview.
It probably could have been a 5-hour interview very easily. I feel like we could have just kept talking, but I was super nervous in the very beginning. I had never done a podcast.
Now you're a pro. You get no green room. You just come in. I'm here.
I don't know about that. Like you said, there's room for growth.
So how's your year been? How's your 2021?
It's been pretty awesome. I'm serving more people than ever. I got married to my best friend.
That's what I was going to say. That's a good year.
Yeah. And the reason my last name hasn't changed is because I haven't gotten all my documentation changed over, but it's technically Dr. Ashley Myatt. And yeah, we thought things were going to calm down after the wedding, and they did not. They just kind of sped up even more. So we've been pretty busy, but it's been a lot of fun. So.
Well, I don't do married names. Anne Gummalla is still Anne Morris in my phone. If you get promoted in the military, you're still that first rank in my phone forever and ever.
Yep.
And the kids will forever call you Dr. Ashley. So it doesn't even matter. You don't even need a last name.
I know. I miss those two. I want to meet the new one too.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Congratulations.
So much fun. So you live in the free state of Oklahoma. So one, I'm very jealous. Is there anything that you are looking forward to in 2022? Or is it just that awesome in Oklahoma?
Well, lately I've kind of kept my head in the sand for the most part. But life for us hasn't changed drastically. I would say in 2022, I'm looking forward to we're expanding in the office. I'm looking at hiring a second front desk person. So really just working on expanding our reach in the community and in Southwest Oklahoma is my goal. And yeah, that's kind of my biggest, like my vision, what I have my eye on the prize for right now. But
Awesome. Well, Ashley, I wish we had all night to talk, but we've got guests all on. This is so cool. Like, you guys can't see this, but there's like a ton of people in here.
that's
Dimis,
super cool.
we're gonna have to play around with this more. Thanks so
year.
much. I'll
That's
tell
so
you
crazy.
the same thing that I told Anne. You guys need to come visit too. We have a huge house. There's like a mother-in-law suite in the basement, and just come out and yeah, you guys can
I'm
have the
totally
basement.
down.
The kids will wake up, and if the alarm's off, they'll all run down and crawl all over you,
I'm
which they do to
totally
all of our
down.
guests. All right. Well,
I would love to catch up with both of y'all. So
yes. So, and of course, you're welcome, and you can grab the hubby to come back in about 15 minutes for the games. I don't see a drink down there. I trust that you have one.
I got my water right now.
Woo! Hey, I have water too, because when you're talking, you need water. It's like anything.
You gotta
can go
stay
down.
hydrated. You gotta stay
Ashley
hydrated.
Bredy, Dr. Ashley. You just said the last name. I don't know. Say it one more time. Myatt. What are we toasting to?
Well, to a year, of course. What else? A great 2022.
Thanks so much, and congratulations on the wedding. Super excited for you guys.
Thanks. I'm excited for you.
All right. So we're going to bring in two guests here. These are our surprise guests, and I gotta bring these two in, and I'm so glad that they could both make it, because so much of my growth, so much of what I've been able to achieve, which I have some little snippets here. Oh no, not that. Why is it not? Oh, wait, I got to add it back. I've got some little snippets here for you guys. Of course, now, today, it's a little bit outdated because the show actually grows a good bit day to day and week to week. But as of a couple of weeks ago, I'm kind of killing it on the internet. My website went from 12,000 hits in about a month to now it's about 18,000 hits. Of course, this is a little bit old. I went from 2.9 to I think I'm 3.1 or 3.2 thousand subs on YouTube.
That is amazing.
My 90 days on Twitter, I get 2 million impressions, which when I saw that, I was like, oh, I screwed up the data. Let me run it again. Oh no, that's YouTube impressions. 3 million impressions on Twitter, which so much of the stuff, and of course there's my click-through rate is through the roof, which is nuts. This is outdated as well. I've sold about $4,000 worth of stuff. But all of this stuff, I'm telling you guys that this is my media kit right here. All of this stuff happened when I met these two individuals, when I met Charlie Street. And I'm not kidding. I'm so glad that both of you were able to join. And Wendy Shrouts-Mahoney, who's a reporter with, well, I guess you say investigative journalist, because you actually are a journalist and you actually investigate with Uncover DC. And Charlie, I forget you. We interviewed with Dave. We interviewed with Dave with the
yes,
the center, the something policy research
Center for National Policy. Yeah, right. That's where Dave is. Well, the funny thing too is you and I had met because we were both on Clubhouse, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I kept running into you in Clubhouse rooms. And I thought you were in Texas for some reason. And so one day I said, yeah. Are you in Texas? And you were like, no, I'm in. And I don't know, can we name the state? And
yeah, Leesburg.
So you said, no, I'm in Virginia. And I said, oh, I'm in Virginia. And you said, I'm kind of in the DC area. I said, well, I'm in the DC area. And you said, I'm in Leesburg. I said, well, I'm in Ashburn, which is just down the street. It's like
my gym's in Ashburn.
And so we've got to get together sometime. Yeah, and we did.
Yeah, and we did. And we went out for drinks. And the conversation that we had, you and Dave opened a lot of doors for me about capture strategy with media and what to say to who, how, and when. And I used that stuff and I wrote it down in this notebook. In this notebook is my show notebook. It's almost full. This one, I've got maybe 15 pages left. So I should finish it out by the end of the year. But I can't thank you. I can't thank Dave enough. And of course, Wendy, let's go, Brandon. Oh my gosh, you've got the shirt. I put
it on for you. I changed.
Wendy, not only does she write kick butt articles for Uncover DC, she is truly like a warrior in this thing. And she beat some people down to get me on their show. And every time she talked to him, have you talked to Joe Mobley? How come Joe Mobley hasn't been on your show? So Wendy is my unofficial agent. She really operated as my first ever agent. So you guys, I can't thank you enough. So both of you, tell us about your year in a minute or two and what you're looking forward to in 2022. And hopefully you have a drink. Those are the rules.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Okay. Well, I'll just say, so there's a lot that I'm looking forward to, but I'll say this too, just, and I don't know how much you've gotten into politics on this thing, but so we did have a great year, right? A lot of good stuff happened. What I'm hoping for is to keep this momentum going, because I think, sometimes we have these, we do well and then we fall back. We take a step forward and then it's 3 steps back. And I think
we're graceful losers.
Yeah, well, when you look over a period of years and even decades, I think we've been losing this game for such a long time. And every now and then we've got some time where we make gains and we do well. I'm afraid that philosophically, the country keeps moving further and further left. That worries me. And I don't know if we have shifted the tide or if this is sort of Custer's last stand and we've gotten so upset that we're standing up to fight. But, I don't know what the future is going to hold on this. But I think we all need to talk more. I think, you talked about sort of media strategy, and I would like to talk to you, at a future time more about some strategic ideas, things that could be done, both podcast wise, political strategy. I think there's a lot to talk about, though. The future hasn't happened yet. And if you plan right, if you strategize right, sometimes you can affect the course of history. So that's what I'm looking forward to in 2022.
Awesome. Wendy.
Yes. Well, those are some good thoughts. That's a very funny story about Gary Binford. I really did hammer him.
I did another interview with him the other day. He's just a hoot. We have too much
Did
fun.
he told you, right, that I hammered him?
Yeah. Oh, he told me because then he started trying to get after me and I wasn't returning his call or emails. So now he's like, Wendy's on my back. Joe's not returning my calls. It really was.
I was actually a little bit irritated with him. And I because I was like, what is this famous bullshit? Like he's like, I want a famous black man. I'm like, what? Why?
I am a famous black man because media matters. They smeared me, and Julie Briskman has called us not white, alt-right white nationalists.
I gotcha.
So I'm in the ranks with Larry.
All right. Well, good. I'm glad we've graduated, and we can finally legitimately be on Gary Binford's show. But anyway,
listen to the podcast because there are a lot of people that still don't know that I'm black. Like one of my hashtags is literally black conservative. Like, you think they would get it?
Anyway, that really was a funny conversation because here I was, I didn't even know who he was. And, he used to be famous himself, and I apparently didn't give two what's about it. I was just like, Gary, what's up? I mean, I'd never spoken with him before. And he's like, but I really want somebody, like Herschel Walker. And I'm like, forget about Herschel Walker. Joe Mobley's the person you need to speak with. He's like, all right, Wendy, well, you convinced me. Anyway, gosh, I have so many thoughts about, this year. I mean, personally, it hasn't been a bad year. My husband lives in New York. He's been working up there for a while, so I don't see him a whole lot. But everybody, I have 5 children. We just celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary. Everybody's healthy. So all those important things are good in our life. And that's great. But all that to say, I have to say, I am very genuinely concerned about our country. And I do spend a lot of time talking with people, normal, everyday people fighting very big battles. And, I've been impressed with some of the people that I've been meeting. I did start that Find a Patriot website just recently. We launched it. I'm still kind of adding things to that. And basically that is my concept there is, like Charlie was saying, we need to talk with each other more, but we need to talk with each other more in person. We need to get together in person. Part of this whole thing in the world right now. And I really do believe, and I'm not much of a conspiracy person, but I do know, with my background, the psychological components of what has happened in the last year and a half. And one of those things is isolation. And when you're in isolation, you're much more likely to be swayed by fear mongering. When you don't have connections and regular support systems.
The Soviets did a study on this.
I'm thinking. So, one of the reasons that I started this Find a Patriot is it has a component of it called the supper club or the dinner club. And I'm trying to encourage people in communities to invite 8 to 10 people. And it sounds like a very simple thing. And like, this is what we used to do. I mean, this shouldn't even be something that I have to put a website up there to do. But I think people have gotten away from it. So a lot of people have just enjoyed their virtual reality and their virtual offices. And, they opt for virtual meetings over in person. I have people ask me all the time locally, do you want to meet virtually or in person? I'm like, how about in person? I mean, so, and then of course there's I've been putting up a lot of businesses, and it's not a political, even though, it has kind of a more conservative name to it. It's really a website for both employers and businesses that don't require masks and vaccines, and likewise that the people patronizing those businesses are not interested in asking people their vaccination status or why they're not wearing masks today. So, we've got over 100 businesses up there already, and we're starting some Telegram groups. I actually, one of the people that I work with volunteered to maintain the site, which is a godsend for me because I just don't have the time. I'm on the executive committee for the GOP in Nashville, and it's a very blue county, and it's a huge challenge. So, but anyway, all that to say that I am very worried about our country. I have a couple of grandchildren, one on the way, 5 children of my own, and I think we are facing some serious hurdles, and I actually, while I think we do have some momentum, I do see things slowly turning. We have not yet reached a tipping point. There are still a lot of complacent people out there, and a lot of people who are, taking their toys and going home. I'll put up there something that somebody did, like the filibuster a couple of weeks ago. I don't like McCarthy any more than anybody else. But when I see people doing good things, and then when I go on and say, hooray, somebody actually stood up, and people are like, well, that's just, a show, and he's not going to do anything else. And, I don't know. I think all that defeatist talk, it drags other people down. And, my question is always, all right, well, that's great. So then what are you going to do about it? And then they say, well, I voted and it didn't matter. And, if we take those attitudes, then we're never going to make any progress. And I still hear a lot of that. So that's concerning to me. And of course, millennials, and I have 4 of them myself, they're a very challenging generation to get involved because they don't like conflict. They don't like to talk about things that are, sticky and controversial. And they, all the likes on social media and, their friends and all the pressure there. And it's tough. It's very tough out there. We've got a lot of challenges, I think.
Well, and a large percent of the population, I think, too, just doesn't really understand a lot of the issues in depth. And so they don't want to get into discussions, and they don't want to get into debates about it. They don't understand history, and they are, they're continuously brainwashed by you've got mainstream media, you've got TV, movies, music industry, every college, universities, everything.
Yeah, they've got all the culture
anyway in their head. And part of what we have to work on changing is all of those things. Otherwise, philosophically, we'll keep drifting towards this sort of Marxist totalitarian solution for everything, right?
So I know you don't have a lot of time, Joe, but
we'll fight the Marxist takeover next week.
That's right.
Just the celebration.
Yes. So celebrate.
Charlie, I need to have you back on. And Wendy, I can't believe a year has gone by and we've not had an interview.
I know.
So I've got 2 openings this month, but if not, then
all right, I'm in.
Next year, we're getting a freaking interview.
Congratulations, Joe. I'm so happy for you. And I'm happy about your new job.
Yeah, new job, new baby, same wife.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for having me on.
Guys, thanks so much for joining
Yeah.
us. And if you stick around and play the games, then you're more than welcome to.
When's that happening?
Probably about 10 minutes. Oh, I see the 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, Joe.
Awesome. All right. So now we've got our regulars here. Our co-host and Ian Pryor, of course. I don't know why it always flips the people around in different spots. But speaking of websites, I don't know how I haven't been canceled yet. I have gone through some battles with Twitter and with Google and with YouTube, and then again with Google and Google AdSense. And anyway, guys, we're openly conservative. The world hates us. They hate my business. They hate Dimis's business, Ian's PAC. They hate it all. So one of the ways that you can help out is to support us directly on our websites. Their websites are in the links below. Mine is, I'm actually doing a website update, remodel, whatever. I guess it's been about a year, so it's time. So this is the new design I'm playing around with. Feedback is definitely welcome, but you joining the email list or checking out some merch and supporting the show that way is also appreciated. Ian's site is, I think it's fightforschools.com. All right. And Dimis, come on, man. Is it real Immigrant Corner?
Yes, real Immigrant Corner. Come on.
Oh, man. It's been like, 4 months? It's in the description below now. You guys
I just
click
launched
on it.
mine not too long ago, so it's still fresh.
All right. Well, gents, you are on to the end of the episode. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I just got back from Florida yesterday, so sort of decompress mode or recompress. I don't know.
You didn't stay in Florida? I've been taking the family and defected.
If McCall kind of left it, I probably would have stayed, but
yeah. Dimis, what's going on, man?
Nah, man. Glad to be here. Happy 1 year.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. And Dimis has been putting in a lot of the work too, because he's been on every episode for like 6 or 8 weeks.
Mine passed. I started mine in October 26th. So I didn't do a celebration.
Dude, our freshman year is over. We're supposed to know what we're doing now.
Dude, look what I got, man.
Nice. Nice. All right, so
that's it says POP, Power of Parenting. So I put that up on the website. This is a celebration of Loudoun County winning.
Hey, did you see? I don't know if any of you guys saw. There was a New York Times story today, so maybe you didn't see it.
Not yet.
They did a focus group, and they had a Democratic pollster do the focus group, and it was in like outside of Richmond and Northern Virginia. And so they talked about on the education issues. They're like, well, what was it? And these were swing voters, right? Democrats, independents, soft Republicans. And, they're like, look, critical race theory wasn't like the issue, which, I've never said it was, but it was a host of things where parents felt that they weren't being respected by, the people that were not teaching their kids, but like the systems that were in charge of their schools. And they talked about how if you don't agree with the progressive agenda 100%, then, you're a hateful, intolerant person. And I'm like, that is exactly it. Like, that is what nailed what happened in here in Loudoun County, right? Because like not everybody was paying attention to every single issue as it came about, right? Whether it's the, policy 8040, the transgender bathrooms, or critical race theory, or, the sexual assault issues. But they were all just, and it always goes back to that list, right? The anti-racist parents of Loudoun County.
Which means the racist parents of Loudoun County, by the way.
If you don't agree with us, then you're horrible, and we're not going to talk to you. We're just going to try and destroy you, right? Like, people are sick of that.
Look, man, the cancel culture tried to cancel us, but we canceled them first, and that's my theory, man. That's how I'm looking at it. That's what I've been saying. If you try to cancel me, I will cancel you first. And that's the attitude I'm going in with, and that's the attitude I've been sticking with. And
I've heard you say that like 10 times. It's awesome. He's just like, he'll say it to someone's face too.
Try and cancel me. I don't. I'm not gonna hold back. That's enough is enough. They had their chance. They ruined what was sort of working. We just wanted to make it better. And with what they were doing, they were trying to destroy what we had left, and not gonna happen anymore.
Well, it's all about.
And this is coming from an Iranian, bro. Like, I lived in Iran. I know what the power propaganda is. I lived that lifestyle. I know how these people work. I know what a dictatorship functions and how they work it. I lived it.
Whoa! It's a party. We're not doing dictatorships at the party.
I'm actually
we're back
man.
next
week. This is a celebration. This is going into 2022. We're not gonna stand down. We're gonna keep the smile on our faces. We're gonna keep the challenge going, and we're gonna keep this going. This is not gonna stop. This party just started, man.
You guys are like two of the scrappiest people I know. All right, so I got my wingman. You guys have seen on social over the last week. We did a contest to have some fans of the show be on the show. And I got to tell you, I started to get a little bit jealous because one of the fans, when we were messaging and they were talking about being excited, they said that they were excited to see Dimis. I'm like, what the? Anyway, so yeah, I won't out.
Nobody knows me.
we got 3 fans. I won't out the one. But having more people on just helps alleviate the pressure. We haven't had time to talk in the green room. It's your time, fans. Take the deep breath, or maybe the sip of the drink that you were supposed to bring. Sarah, you are first on deck. So Sarah M, I have to tell you, Sarah, when I got your entry, I put it into random name generator. And when the winners came out and one of them says, Sarah M, what your name is, I thought, oh crap, I know 4 Sarah, your last names. And then I'm like, I go to Eliza, I'm like, I don't even know. It could be this girl from college, or there's 3 on my email list. There's a local subscriber. I know 2 from Oklahoma. And then she's like, I know 1 too. I'm like, oh my gosh. But you are Eliza's Sarah M, not one of my Sarah M's. So welcome to the show. Congratulations on winning the contest. And thank you so much for being a supporter. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I did the mad dash because apparently DuckDuckGo didn't like the link. So I was having to find a laptop and get it all hooked up. So we're good now.
I use Brave and DuckDuckGo, and you have to do a bunch of configurations to get StreamYard to work on it. You can, and I struggled through all of those issues a year ago.
Yeah, it wasn't blonde friendly, that's for sure.
Sarah, you have fans.
Hi, Kayla. Yeah, I was gonna say, whenever you said someone was mentioning they were excited to see Dennis, I was like, well, I wish Eliza was here. Nothing personal. We love you, Joe, but
Eliza's always invited. You need to talk her into coming on the show. So, fun SEO fact. My SEO strategy is starting to work. So if you type in Joe Mobley, but not the Joe Mobley or the Joe Mobley Show, just Joe Mobley, I come up first. But the long tails for SEO on Joe Mobley, the most Googled thing is the Joe Mobley. The second most Googled thing is Joe Mobley married? And the third is Joe Mobley's wife. And thankfully, a picture of my actual wife shows up. So we cleared the Google image search. Sarah, how did you learn about the show?
So it was Eliza. We are in a group of mostly closeted conservatives for what we do for work. And she was like, hey, my husband's going to do this thing. And actually, it was the night I found out she was pregnant with your 4th child. And so I was like, it was just a really momentous night. We were all kind of freaking out when you said that. Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking to a couple of government contractors, and Ian used to work with Maine Justice or
Maine Justice.
Yeah, so we know all about being in the closet about your beliefs at work.
Yeah, used to, I'm married to a Marine and a cop, and used to, I was pretty open about that. And now I feel people out before I say anything. And it's just such an awkward time that we live in.
I agree. So Sarah, what are you looking forward to in 2022?
What am I looking forward to? Well, it's a year closer to 2024, so that's probably a big one for me.
I'm glad I took a small sip. Can I
Yeah.
say, like,
You
Sarah's?
drink a White Claw? I was worried about drinking a Truly and not looking, you know.
I was just gonna say Sarah's a literal white girl, but I think I'm the basic white girl here with the White Claw. So I
Tastes
started.
great. Less filling.
I started with whiskey. It's gone, and this wine is delicious, but it is a little bit of a weird mix.
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
It's the best. This is the best you can have.
Bringing me back to my
Something
army
about
days.
whiskey, specifically bourbon. So I went on a bourbon trip in March of last year, Old Bardstown Road, right? It was fantastic. I bought, it was like early March. COVID was, you know, I mean, whatever. People were talking about it, but it wasn't that big a deal yet. So I bought like probably 10 different really nice bourbons. I'm like, I'm going to have like a high-end bourbon shelf. And so I brought them all home. I put them on my shelf in my bar. And then the NBA shut down. Tom Hanks got COVID. It was all bad news from there. And I swear to God, I didn't go anywhere for like 3 weeks. So that bourbon stash, that was like, this is going to be my high-end stash, became this stash is gone really, really quickly. Like all that money, I could have just gotten some wild turkey at you know, ABC.
Mad Dog 2020. All right, so Sarah, I'm going to put you on the spot because you knew I was going to ask you, you know, what you were looking forward to in 2021. But if you're a fan of the show, you also know that I don't use scripts. This is my script. It's a posted. It's just a posted note that says everyone's name and what time they're supposed to be on, which failed at Ashley Brady. That's where the time just fell apart. No regrets. But I get a couple hundred to a couple of thousand downloads on YouTube. But what people don't see is the podcast. The podcast of every episode will release on a Monday. And that first week, it'll get 1,500 to 2,000 downloads. And then shortly after that, it'll get about 10,000 downloads. So to tens of thousands of closeted conservatives or maybe uncloseted conservatives, they are going to listen to what you have to say right now. What do you have to say to these fellow countrymen and countrywomen?
Speak up. Stop worrying about what people are going to think. You know, we are conservative Christians here in Texas. I'm speaking for my family. Unfortunately, California is invading, but you know, for a long time, we've just gone along and we don't want to offend people. We just want to be loving. And it's just time to speak up. You can say what you believe in a loving way, and you should start. And so should I, to be fair. I mean,
you know, I can't agree more with Sarah. It's why should you be scared to say something that's on your mind? Why would we stop? You know, they don't. You know, the other side really doesn't care if they hurt anybody's feeling. They say what they say, and do what they do. So why should we not do the same? I thought the First Amendment is for everybody. It's not just for one side. So I you know, at work I used to be very quiet about 3-4 years ago. Don't say anything. Don't get anybody offended. Now I don't care. Now I honestly I speak my mind. They know me in the office. I have the loudest voice.
Yeah,
I don't know how to whisper.
So in the Army, we used to say we're fresh out, which of course means we're fresh out of F's to give. You know, awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I totally agree with Sarah. I think everybody should speak up. I mean, don't be offensive. Don't insult the person. You know, just approach them with kindness. Approach them with, with knowledge. Approach them with with happiness. You know, even if they don't agree with you, they will still talk to you. If they don't want to talk to you, then it's not your problem.
Sarah, you've got more fans and engagement than the three of us put together. All right. Well, Sarah.
Definitely because they're trying to figure out why in the world I'm here. What is she doing there?
Thanks so much for joining. I knew if I told people if I told fans the analytics before the contest that none of you would have entered, because there's just a 6 month difference between the podcast and the YouTube launch, but the podcast literally gets tens of thousands of downloads. And I knew if I said that no one would want to be on it. So thanks so much for coming on. And it's so fun to actually put a face with, like, my wife tells me all these stories about stuff that you guys are chatting about. Usually all the political stuff.
full disclosure in the group, I'm the one that will probably travel, and I just heard you have a mother-in-law suite, so we may be making a trip.
Well, I don't know you, but if Eliza's comfortable with you coming, you can come. You know that we have probably a gun in every room, so I don't think you'd do anything crazy.
No.
Awesome. Well, Arissa, you're on deck, so get ready. Sarah, it was such a pleasure to meet you. Thanks so much for being a fan, and congratulations again for winning the contest. There were quite a number of names in that random name generator. And thanks to Pat Flynn for showing me all these tools to use to get engagement going. Awesome. So we're going to keep it moving. I'm terrible at the time right now. It's already 9:36. Oh my gosh. Sarah, it was so good to meet you. And I hope you can, if you can stick around and play the games, you're more than welcome. I'll bring everyone on that's still on. But it is time for fan contest winner number 2, Arissa Markward. Awesome. How are you? You are our last fan. Arnie, just one. I'm doing well, Arissa. One sec. Arnie, I see you. I'm talking to Arnie B, the locals supporter. I see you down here. It says that you need to connect your mic and camera before we could add you. So if you could get that squared away on your end, we'd love to have you join the show. Back to you, Arissa. How are you?
Groovy.
Awesome. How'd you hear about the show? And
Uncover DC. I'm a constitutionalist conservative.
Awesome. Very cool. So you're a Tracy Beans fan.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could have got Tracy for tonight, but full disclosure, I didn't think about texting her until this morning. And I'm like, I respect her time too much to be like, oh, okay, I'll just see if you can jump on. Awesome. So how was your 2021? What are you looking forward to in 2022?
Groovy.
Or if you've got any questions for our guest here, you can throw those out too. We're here for you.
I have already requested an endorsement from Lauren Boebert, and I'm more or less throwing my hand to the ring for 2022 with the federal Congress.
Oh, awesome. What state?
North Dakota.
North Dakota. Awesome. Never been. I can't promise that I'll make it out there, but I've been
there. I've been in North Dakota. Yeah.
I don't know my demographics. I only can see niche down to the region, and then
some people mistake us as far as it goes with being Canada or something of the sort. And some people kind of think about Minnesota. Where are you located at? We're right next to Minneapolis.
Awesome. So presumably 2021 or really 2022, you're looking forward to some campaign contributions. I don't know. Is it time where people can announce and start raising funds? I'm not
I think it's the last 6 months.
Awesome.
Before.
Awesome. So what are you looking forward to in 2022?
Hoping to more or less help get the USA back on track. 2021, about the first business I've actually been at for I don't know how long with TJX for 3 years, actually over 3 years, almost 4. Next March.
So what are you doing now, Arissa? Like what kind of work do you do now?
Merchandising, processing, just regular retail.
Okay. Do you like it? Are you looking to stay in that same line of business, or I mean, I know you're going to be running. What are you looking for in 22? Like what's your message for people so they'll know what you're running for?
To stand up, to make your voices heard, to not more or less end up ducking behind. We are the new 1776. the founding fathers, the refounding. And it's time. The Republicans aren't going to be winning, and neither are the Democrats.
So are
It's
you running
now
as
time for the independents.
So you're running as an independent?
I'm running as a constitutionalist conservative.
Constitution.
And 1776er on the America First platform.
Got it. Well, I wish you luck, my friend. I wish you all the luck, and I hope you get somewhere with it.
Thank you.
Arissa, I'm so glad that you joined the show. You're actually, unless Arnie gets back, you're actually the last of the surprise guest. So we are going to bring everyone back in. Let me finish sending this text. This is the kind of show it is. I'm sending a text in the middle. So we are going to bring everyone back in. Arissa, you can stay, you can go. But it is officially, whoa, what is it? No, I don't want to edit his name. Why would I want to edit your Taylor? It was asking me if I wanted to edit your name. Guys, it's officially game time. So hopefully I'm literally starting to feel the effects of the alcohol that I've had. Anyway, we're playing Caption This first. So anyone, please caption this wonderful, lovely photograph. Take us away.
Joe Biden
looks like he's bitten on the Biden policies there.
That's definitely the cover of a book in Loudoun County Public Schools.
Oh yeah. I'll second that one.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Taylor, I don't know if I'm regretting having the whiskey first or if I'm enjoying having the whiskey first. But beer before liquor, never been sicker. So
there you go.
All right. I think Ian's going to take this round. This is whose line is it anyway type deal where the points don't really matter.
Yeah.
But cover of the Loudoun County book is.
Yeah, I can't top that.
Yeah. It's like, is this guy the student or the teacher, though? It's hard to tell with all the weird
maybe teacher. Looks like you guys actually take the heat.
Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. This is purely for analytics. Kids or animals. That gets you views on YouTube. At least that's what the internet says.
Tough one, man.
Mm-hmm. Darn tootin'.
You gotta pander to those kids in the.
We gotta caption it.
We gotta caption it. I couldn't come up with anything for this one either. What does the internet call it? I think the internet calls it Choose Wisely.
I'm gonna go with Americats Run on Youngkin.
Americats Run on Youngkin. Ian, did you study up for this? I didn't send these photos out. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I'm tainted by seeing the names of the photos because, this one's called something like Choose Wisely. And I'm just like, that's all that's in my head right now. It's like freaking Inception. Look at this, creepy. What's this deal right here? I just feel like this person
a lot of
should
stuffed
be
animal in the background.
Yeah, this person should be investigated
back there somewhere.
Those might be tuna donuts too.
Yeah, that's true. All right, any other captions? Going once, going twice.
Got nothing.
Nothing.
All right, America runs on. What was it?
Youngkin, I think.
Awesome. So you guys know that this was the thumbnail for the episode. When I'm not a social media guy. I hate social media. I know that I'm a millennial and I should love the internet. I hate social media. I talked with my wife for a long time before I started the podcast and YouTube and all that stuff. And she's like, well, one, you have to be on social media if you're going to do an online influencer type deal, period. So I'm back on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on all this stuff. Pat Flynn talked me into doing a podcast, strict podcast. low cost startup, just grab a phone, grab whatever. I was obviously an Army musician. I had microphones and stuff. So I'm like, all right, audio only. When I started YouTube in about June or July, whenever I started YouTube, I was like, I'm looking at all the crazy faces the YouTubers makes. And you got to understand, I took my first selfie like a couple of years ago. And I told my wife I'm not making those stupid faces. But for this one, for 1 year, I took like 6 of the stupid face photos. So you guys get to caption these guys.
I have an idea.
The light goes on.
About one more drink.
Check, please.
Oh man.
All right. You ready, Joe?
Uh-oh. Yeah, send it.
Even 1-year-olds can be white supremacists.
Oh man.
I think Ian played this game in like a frat party or something.
Creativity over there.
Even 1 year. They're writing it into the Constitution over here. Even 1-year-olds can be white supremacists. Let's add that in. Sorry. Media Matters is going to fact check us. This is the Declaration of Independence to my left and the Constitution to my right. Two documents that none of those idiots have read.
That's terrible.
It's the reversed image, man. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, so Kyle Rittenhouse, his Air Force One photo here.
Kyle 2035.
Sounds about right.
Holy shit! I thought that was Pete Buttigieg.
No.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, yes.
Now Kyle's gonna see this and kill himself.
We gotta tag him on this one.
Is a mask required on this plane?
That's a good one.
Depends who's on board.
I think he's considering what he's going to buy with all that defamation money.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could buy this jet.
Get off my plane.
$250 million ought to be able to buy this.
Oh, he's gonna get more. He's gonna get more than that.
Oh. Arissa, what do you got?
Yeah. In what area?
Captioning this.
Oh Lord.
Here, you can go first on the next one. That's right, guys. I did the Home Alone pose.
I love it.
Oh,
I can't believe I'm doing this. I hate Mondays.
What'd you say, Charlie?
Look at my subscriber number.
Hey, Joe, who's taking the pictures? Are you doing selfies?
Yeah. I'm using the Canon M50 up here.
All right.
This one that I'm using right now. One huge. Obviously they're big tech, but I am so glad that this freaking MacBook got here. I bought one of those new MacBooks, which one I could do because of some of the money that I got from people supporting the show. So thank you. But this machine has been worth it because my old MacBook Pro with the dual core processor, it was struggling. It sounded like a freaking spaceship every time I launched a live stream.
I gotta tell you. If somebody named Dunch ever ran for governor, I'm not sure that's the best.
We'll have to reconsider the branding, that's for sure.
Can I just say, I didn't even realize I was wearing my Youngkin shirt until after I took these pictures, and I said, I'm not making these effing poses again. So I was like, screw it. I'll talk to Alicia or Youngkin or whoever wants to talk. We can blur it out. But I was not taking those photos again.
Oh,
All
I
right,
think you should
guys.
use it. I bet you'd be surprised.
Mike Tyson biting some kid's shirt. What do we got?
Like my ears.
Not during the Epstein trial. Come on.
I hope he doesn't more or less sit on the head.
I think he's doing a Biden imitation.
Biden just sniffs. He usually doesn't nibble.
Hey.
Not in public, anyway.
Everyone's got a plan until they get bit on the shirt.
Yeah, you got that right. Not only that, but he does do some unwelcome touching.
This kid's face, though. Like, come on, guys. Look at this kid's freaking face. Oh, I can't get up there.
kid.
Oh, man.
Not having fun.
Get
Oh,
me
man.
off this ride.
Remember the game? I don't know. Maybe it was like, how much money would it take for you to get in the ring with Mike Tyson?
No,
Right?
screw that.
Full on, right? I mean, I would probably do it for $50,000. Not gonna lie.
So the first question is, how much was facial reconstruction surgery? That's the baseline,
Yeah.
right?
Just hold your hands up. Let him punch you.
I wonder.
I mean, you got to know, Mike Tyson's hand, like the fist surface area, is about the size of a face. That's one thing that people don't realize when you're like removed from the athlete. Like the surface of his fist is about the size of an average face. So I just heard someone come in. Oh, it's Jennifer Bosma.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back.
Look at the picture. My goodness.
So we're playing
You have to caption it.
caption this. So
Caption this.
This is Mike Tyson
I was gonna say
biting
That's Mike Tyson.
biting some kid shirt. What would you caption this, Jen?
Showing my good ear.
She's coming right out the gate. So, Jennifer, you missed this unless you were watching offline. I told myself I was never going to make those stupid YouTube faces for thumbnails, and of course, whoop, that's the wrong screen.
There you go. That's good.
Of course, I did one. This is the one I ended up posting because I hated the other ones. But here we are. So, all right, guys, caption this one. I look like a freaking idiot.
You did what?
Maybe just what a freaking idiot. Keep it simple.
Oh my gosh, 1 year?
All right. Caption this one.
Okay.
It's just a banana, ma'am.
Still light?
It is just a banana, Taylor. Very astute.
It's an obscure reference. One person will get it, and they'll appreciate it.
Oh, I don't get it. Oh, man. I haven't watched enough Louder with Crowder to get this. I get all of them. Is it a movie reference?
Nope. I'll tell you after the show.
It's just a banana, man.
It's just a banana, ma'am.
I think it's a racist banana.
Oh, it's definitely racist. If this doesn't scream white supremacy, I don't know what does.
Exactly.
You don't know how I feel, Charlie, when I see a banana on a flat pink background. It reminds me that I can't achieve anything.
It's just wrong.
Hashtag banana privilege. I mean, come on, they're like the go-to fruit, right? Like, oh yeah, it's out there. You peel it, you eat it. You don't have to get your hands all mushy, and they don't go. I mean, they do go bad, but they're still okay when they're bad, right? I mean, they're soft.
It's a privileged banana. That's what I call it.
Not like strawberries, right? Like you go in the fridge and you look at the strawberries, they're like too old, and you're like, oh, it's just got mold on it. Like bananas, it's just got this little soft. You know, it's supposed to like brown softness.
And if it goes totally brown, you make banana bread out of it.
Bingo!
Sandwiches or a smoothie. It's got a lot of uses, that banana.
It could be peel before freezing. Because we've all done that when you freeze your banana and you want to use it for a smoothie and then the skin's attached to it. Sorry. It's a mom thing with me. I've done it all before. You never freeze a banana with the peel on. Just saying. Here to help.
That's a pro tip. I've done that. Back when I was at Fort Sill, I did that very thing, and I'm like, crap, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get fit this year and make smoothies. We got the NutriBullet, whatever. Yeah, you throw that banana in the freezer like that, you'll regret it.
Yep.
Yeah, Jennifer, you haven't been here, but Ian's been on fire with these freaking captions. I wonder if he'll do as good on the next game. I think this is the last one. Oh my gosh. This is not good. This is bad. The whole world's going to see this.
You look like you're in pain on that one.
Ronnie, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
I'm a happy guy.
All right. Ready?
No,
Ready?
Go for it.
You're not going to believe what I saw in the girls' bathroom.
Oh man. I definitely should not have
9 p.m.,
started.
so that's okay.
What's that?
We're past 9 p.m., so that's allowed.
No.
Oh yeah, this episode's not monetized at all. This episode's not monetized because of the basic white girl drinks alone. Yeah, speaking of, yeah, the mango's a keeper for sure. All right. So guys, the last game, I say guys and gal.
You're fine.
You
All right, we're
remember
back.
when you used to be able to say like, oh, hey guys, that nobody cared. They weren't like, anyway, I digress.
No, you can say hey guys all the time. It does not matter.
Wait, can I just interject here one thing? How do you say the new variant? Is it Omicron?
Omicron or something?
Okay. Does that not sound
it's irrelevant, just like all the other variants.
No. But does that not sound like the sinister corporation in like every sci-fi movie that controls like all the bot tech and like you need a new arm, you go into that, you go in there.
Yeah,
or like
well,
a
it's like
pharmaceutical company in Fugitive.
I think
in Ready Player One. What was the company in Red? Yeah, that's pretty close, I think. Yeah.
I think for the Omicron variant, they should make the new vaccine called Megatron. That'll be a perfect fit.
Oh man,
it sounds like a Decepticon.
Right.
This Omicron variant's pretty bad though. Buildings are supposed to fall. Tsunamis are going to wash over the cities. It's bad.
We missed Kayla's submission for the banana. If you want to put this banana on your face, be my guest. It's about as effective as a mask.
Right.
That's funny, Kayla. I'm so glad that you watched the show. Thanks. And I'm glad you're probably in that chat with Eliza. So you guys helped keep her sane. So thank you. All right. Obviously, we're playing Would You Rather for this last game of the show. Again, another, shout out to Pat Flynn. If you guys do, so Dimis and Taylor specifically, if you don't follow Pat Flynn and his SPI Smart Passive Income, I think is a SPI. Yeah. If you don't follow any of his stuff, you should. He's got a ton of stuff on creating engagement, growing communities, doing podcasts, doing YouTube, blah, 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 blah. One of the things that he does is he uses either.io to play this game. And I've played it with him when COVID first hit. He was like, I'm going to go live every day for an hour. And I think it was Thursdays or Fridays he would play this game. And I'm like, one day I'm going to play this game on my show. And that day is today. It took me a year to do it. This is the one that first popped up. So would you rather never be able to leave your native country or never be able to drive?
So question, does that mean like you wipe out all past experiences leaving your country or just future experiences or you've never been able to leave and you wipe all that stuff out?
Nah, we'll say future.
We'll say future.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say that then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with
the
crazy
one.
Me too, because why would we leave the greatest country on earth? All right, guys.
That's not a fair question, man. I'm an immigrant, bro. It's not a fair question for me.
You leave your family behind, Dimis.
I don't
be selfish.
I don't want to leave here.
I've seen enough ruins. I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather listen to only one song for the rest of your life or listen to no music for the rest of your life?
Oh, that's rough.
I'll listen to one song for the rest of my life.
I'm going with
One
one
song's
song.
better than no
One
song.
song.
A little music better
one
than no
song.
music. Yeah.
All right.
I want to know what's wrong with those 28% of people.
What song?
what song?
What song? That's
Oh
a good
my
question. What song?
gosh.
Oh,
The
no
rest
idea.
of your life, one song. My wife and I met in music school, so I feel like I need to pick something classical, which isn't really classical. It could be like romantic or anyway. One song.
Classical would not wear on you as much.
I think I'm going Living on a Prayer.
How about the theme song off of Paris After Midnight?
There you go. I'd probably do Humble and Kind just to get the reminder constantly to not be a jackass on Twitter.
Anything by Air Supply.
No.
Why
I'm
do they
torn
shoot
and
an
so-
oxygen?
Anything by Led Zeppelin. Except Stairway to
Aerosmith.
Heaven.
I'm gonna pick a worship song. I'm gonna keep "You Keep Hope." I'm going to pick "You Keep Hope Alive," just because, yeah, which is an excellent song. And Jesus keeps hope alive. All right, we're moving on to the next one. Jen, what one song? You got one song. This is the only song you can listen to for the rest of your life.
One song to listen to for the rest of your life. You know, goodness. Something by Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, that gets everyone in a good mood.
Staying alive.
Live in isolation for a year.
Yeah, 1,000.
Yep.
Yep. Isolation.
Isolation.
Wow. Holy crap.
Isolation. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
It'd actually be awesome. Yeah.
Didn't even get to ask that one. This is 1.7 million people, so almost 70%.
Who wants to go to jail?
I used to work in the jail. It's not so bad, but it's pretty bad.
No, thank you.
There's
Don't
a
want to go to
I would be
jail.
cold.
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't like hot. I don't like heat.
I'll take dry heat.
Well, how hot?
Give
how
me
hot is hot?
Tucson.
That's a
Give
good
me
question. How hot
Tucson.
is hot?
I'd rather be cold.
No, if it's 85 degrees, I'll go with hot.
Give me dry heat.
I'm always hot, so I'm just gonna go with what I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go always hot. Actually, no, always cold. Always cold.
I'm already always hot.
Where I live, it gets hot.
See, you
so I'd
got
probably
you
pick
have
that
to
one.
give a temperature on both sides. That'd be easier to pick.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll say unbearably hot or unbearably cold always.
Unbearably cold.
Unbearably cold because you could put on a coat, right?
But it doesn't matter. It's unbearable.
I'll take dry heat.
I prefer heat. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I'll still say that.
Guys, this is a split decision. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many do we have on? 8. We're still gonna. All right, everyone's got to vote. I'm team hot. We got one hot.
Cold.
Cold.
Hot.
Cold.
Whoops. Wait. Yeah.
Cold winds.
Cold winds. All right.
Cold. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, we didn't caption this one. Oh my gosh. Did I miss any more? All
I
right.
forgot to change the oil.
Holy shit! Is that Pete Buttigieg?
The captain's going down with the ship.
I think it's the leftist agenda.
Bingo!
I'm so glad I accidentally swiped over to this because I totally forgot this picture. Oh man, Arissa, did you caption this one?
The captain going down with the ship, also known as the leftist agenda and poopy pants. Considering, you know who and who went or had to get their diapers changed when they ended up visiting the Pope. Which was one reason his visit was so long.
Our country is a laughing stock right now.
Do damage control.
Oh,
my
and Joe,
goodness.
congratulations. on the job.
Thanks. I like the Pete Buttigieg one.
To
Welcome
me,
back
it looks
from
like a
paternity
Californian
leave.
visiting Idaho for the first time. They just don't know what to do.
Yeah, he's gonna solve that supply chain issue real soon.
One would hope, but
I
does
think
one know?
this person's in bare feet.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. This is like deceptive. It looks like plumber's crack, but it's not. It's just like his shirt's like riding up. I'll be honest, guys, when I saw this, my initial thought was, yep, I'm still in the United States Army. Like this personifies everything about being a soldier. It's just like the suck. Anyway, I can't caption that. Jennifer, do you have a caption for this, or are we going back to would you rather?
Why won't my battery start? I mean, because my battery just died a little bit ago, and I was looking at my thing is, the
Jumped out of the cart.
Yeah, which I always have to think which side goes on, the positive to the negative, and my husband always has to come and save the day with that. But yeah, lovely. I think he's from New Orleans because they always seem to flood there. What do you think? Where would he be? Where would you predict he would? Somewhere in Louisiana, maybe.
Wherever it is.
Good one.
Oh, this is not the States. This is definitely not the States. It's somewhere in Europe.
Yeah,
that car is not. That car is not
that's
from the
true.
States.
Good point.
Cambridge.
Yeah, this guy's just thinking F my life.
The tank top looks a little European too. Just saying.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the car.
It's got that Euro vibe.
This whole thing is like 2020. Like it couldn't possibly get worse. And then you go out to your car.
I mean, aren't the tanks usually on the left side on American cars?
I have no idea.
No, some.
Well, I don't know what kind of car this is.
It's not.
It was
familiar.
like 2 years ago that I figured there's a little arrow on that gas tank. I'm like, oh my God, that shows where my gas tank is.
Oh, Ian. Oh, man. All right. No, we're overriding you. This is the correct answer. Everyone knows freaking police. These guys make no sense at all. Can we talk about why do you need to stay in the firehouse overnight? All the other emergency services, they do an 8-hour shift, a 10-hour shift, 12-hour shift, and they go home.
Nobody's trying to defund the firefighters.
Good point.
Something about those people that just run into a burning building for you. It's hard to hate them.
Most of them are volunteers.
90% of their calls are medical. No, we chose the right answer on that. Freaking police.
Don't know.
Is a badge even a badge if you don't have a gun?
Totally dodgeball.
I go with dodgeball.
Yeah, dodgeball.
Dodgeball?
Oh, Foursquare. I'm a random Foursquare girl because I would play that at recess with my students all the time. It gets pretty competitive.
Jen, you're in the minority, so
I
you
know.
can get a minority card now.
But
now
yeah,
you
I
can be
could.
an aggrieved
You know,
girl.
in order to have the equitable solution, we're going to force all of you people to go for Foursquare now.
Yeah, definitely.
That's equity.
I always was the one that got pegged with the dodgeball.
That's why you don't want to play.
Yeah, because I was like the sitting duck.
I mean, this is going to be like an 85%er. Like JFK, obviously.
It's going to be JFK. Yeah.
JFK.
All right, let's go, Amelia. No, just kidding.
Whoa!
What? Oh, dude.
Surprise.
Amelia.
Wow.
What do they think happened? Like, aliens got her? It can't be more interesting than JFK.
No, kids love to report on Amelia Earhart. I don't know. They all pick her out of the like when they're doing their historical like little biography things. She's a big one.
Wrong with our education system.
She's in there though. We know what happened to her. She crashed.
She crashed in the ocean, wasn't it?
I can't believe 52% of people believe.
Now, was this a poll of kids or adults right here?
It doesn't tell us. It just tells us, and so we count in the poll. It just does raw numbers.
My theory is the combination of Ted Cruz's dad, Frank Sinatra, and Lyndon Baines Johnson.
LBJ had a good hand in it. I'll more than agree with that.
Dude, she cried. I've been looking into the JFK conspiracy stuff, and it's really looking like a Secret Service agent had an accidental discharge for the miracle shot, which makes total sense. Like, oh, one of the heavily armed people around you accidentally shot you in response to the other shot. When we know that contagious fire and threat fixation, both of those
who
are
fired the
things.
first shot? Oswald?
Yeah.
Grassy knoll.
Yeah, first shot from the grassy knoll. Second shot, accidental discharge from the Secret Service agent.
Was Oswald MK Ultra's first test subject? I don't know. Maybe. I'm just asking questions.
Crap. Get your Truly. I like the white
Catcher in the Rye. You know, it did some weird things to people.
Darren Juden.
This is the impromptu one because Ian, when it comes to basic white girl drinks, and so we moved next door to our basic white girl neighbor. Shout out to not Nicole. What's your name? Oh my gosh, what's my neighbor's name?
Too much whiskey.
Maybe
That's
Eliza can. Natalie. Jeez.
Natalie, your neighbor.
Yeah, we moved next to basic white girl Natalie, the neighbor. So I wonder if she watches this. She is an email subscriber, but I think she was being nice because one, in her house is a literal hand-painted picture of RBG. Anyway, I digress. But that's where I first had the Truly, and I think the White Claw edges out the Trulies handedly.
Hard pass. I'm asking for another Truly right now. I'm requesting one.
I was going to say Truly is better than White Claw.
You're requesting one. Is your wife bringing you drinks?
Like 3 people here. One of them might fight.
Jeez, must be nice. Now, what time is it? We were supposed to go to 10. Oh my gosh, it's 10:12.
You did say you were going to.
No, thank you.
You knew that.
Ooh.
I mean, urine.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I'll
I'll
pick the more sterile one.
I'll go urine.
Urine for sure.
Oh,
maybe urine.
And it's vodka. Don't drink it.
I think the dog do with like Play-Doh because one time we were sitting at our table and our kids were like, we were moving our toes in the rug and it's like something
Jen
soft.
goes full screen for this.
Oh.
Wow.
The table's not here anymore.
You're gonna pick dog.
There's the cat. Thanks.
You
Thanks,
go
Joe,
full
for
screen
bringing me.
for this.
Thanks. No, but you were sitting there having dinner and you're nestling your toes in the rug that was kind of like the shag. And then there was something warm and it was dog do.
Oh.
It was a moment.
Good.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for making a big screen.
I think we move to the next question.
25.
Okay, do the score.
Oh, that's a split decision.
Oh,
Wow.
Sick people.
Wow.
Where'd you get these questions?
This is, again, shout out for Pat Flynn and this website. This is either.io. It's free. I'm not even signed in. You just type in either.io and boom, it takes you to these questions. Of course, they're collecting data. Like it keeps all those notes.
Comedian.
I mean, I don't think the question is it a female comedian? I think the question is good or bad. I'm assuming it's good, so I will go with that.
I'd hope.
My wife texted me my neighbor's name to try and save me. Yeah, what did I say, Nicole? Nicole's my new boss, not my basic white girl neighbor. Anyway, well, now I hope Nicole's not watching. Actually, I hope she is because this is an important part of who I am. Anyway.
Pay to see a female comedian. They're pretty funny.
Absolutely great.
Oh. Whoa.
Wow.
What?
Did I get canceled for this? This is not my fault. We decided, the evil conservatives, we decided to pay to see a female comedian.
It was unanimous too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're shooting it was.
Now wait, does like Joy Reid count? Like, does any left-wing news anchor count as comedy at this point?
Yeah, well, if it's Joy Reid as the female, picking the slap in the face thing.
Exactly.
Another strange question.
Oh, Lee Harvey Oswald, because then I get the answer to the earlier question.
I gave you the answer to the earlier
Lee Harvey.
question. All right, let's go Lee Harvey. These are closer than I would expect. They really are.
I mean, who wants to be friends with John Wilkes Booth? He killed Lincoln.
Exactly. He was shot in the temple. Where else?
Yeah, that one's stupid. Whoa.
Oh.
Oh, that's it.
I'll
I
say
like
4
not running into doors, so I'll do 4 feet.
Well, according to some dude on Twitter, I'm 5'4". So
I'll be
in
4
reality, I'm
feet.
5'4"
I'm
and
5'9".
Dude,
So yeah, be 4 feet.
Ian is like directly responsible for the growth of my Twitter account, so shout out. But I hear the most insane stuff about myself on Twitter. And can I just say, what's her name? It's not Karen. That would be too
Kathy.
That's too easy.
Is it Katie? Oh man, babe, if you're still watching, what's the name of that crazy girl? I think her last name is Carter. Helen freaking Carter, Charlottesville, Virginia, with your 2.4K followers. Like, don't kill yourself, okay? Suicide interventionist here.
Deport the unvaccinated.
Your profile is the worst. Like, unfollow me.
She's pro-life and wants to deport the unvaccinated.
Oh my goodness!
I don't know. I guess that makes sense.
Well, and you heard there was Jim Cramer.
Wait,
Jim
what do you
Cramer
deport?
comment, right?
What do you deport an American to?
This chick's tweets are freaking crazy. Well, I can't even find. Let's see. Look at everything.
Look at this.
Ian, does she
know
follow
you're playing
you?
with fire right
She's
now.
all over the place.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll just get out of here. But
You're playing with fire.
Hey, if you're 8 feet tall,
But
you get the bird's eye view on everything. So go
Like-
go for the bird's eye view. Be that
But
guy.
like
or
you,
girl.
Taylor, she like follows and notifies or whatever all of my tweets. This chick,
Why do
Ho-
I
like,
duck
responds
under
to it.
everything?
I'll
If
have
you're
you
8
know,
feet
I do
tall, if you're 8 feet tall, okay, you're gonna get drafted like 1 through 3. You'll get that rookie contract. You'd be out of the league in 3 years, but who cares? Because you'll be set for life.
Yeah, good
I'm going
point.
with that.
There's money in the 8 feet, not the 4 feet.
yeah, it depends on what you're willing to do on the internet.
You could-
Exactly.
You
Well,
could go
wait,
back to the Wizard
wait.
of Oz and be like a person in the Wizard of Oz for an extra if they make a remake.
Oh yeah,
This
you
is
could
some
be a
weird- This is
munchkin.
some weird knowledge I've got. But apparently, the St. Louis Browns in like the 40s decided they need to get a walk. So they had this guy. He was like 4 feet tall, and they put him up on at the plate, and they couldn't hit the strike zone. So they would walk the guy, and they would use this guy to basically get a walk and get a man on base in like every big game, and then pinch run for him. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to go with that, but it's an argument for it.
All right, Dimis, you are the tie-breaking vote because it's a split decision: 4 feet tall or 8 feet tall. What say you?
Go 8 feet.
Boom.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the winner for sure. Probably do a couple more of these, and then I could do this all night.
All
It's-
your hair for an entire month.
Oh, definitely walk around without pants.
Oh gosh, no. Shed all your hair for a month.
Well, if you're not wearing pants, you can wear
Red
other
hair?
stuff.
Sure.
I mean, can you wear shorts?
That's
Like all of
awkward.
your hair.
Doesn't mean that you're
Are we
covered.
talking arm hair, leg hair, eyebrows gone, eyelashes gone, like all hair gone? Like you're full Whoopi Goldberg for a month?
Yeah, but you can't like cover up with something that isn't pants. That defeats the purpose of the question too.
You look like one of the bad guys from Weird Science. That's not good.
I mean, you're wearing like undies. You're not just like free balling for a month.
Of course, in this world of remote work, you don't really need pants.
You're fighting the hypothetical.
I'm
going blue.
All right,
Well,
we got
red.
one
I
blue
don't know,
pill.
I have to show up to work. I could explain the hair problem, so I'm gonna go hair.
I'm just curious about the hair, so let's go there. Wow. Wow, that's handily defeated. All right, guys, how many more of these are we doing? Let's decide before
I
we
got
flip
like
the
one or
next
two
one.
more, then I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to get in trouble too.
All right,
Never
awesome.
get kidnapped and.
Oh my God. Can we not do this one?
No, skip this one. This is bad.
Yeah, I got 2 daughters.
Yeah, let's
Exactly.
skip that one.
Someone with 5 kids from 3 previous marriages.
Marry 5 from
This one
3?
sucks though.
Depends.
I'll pass.
Because it depends about how decent you get along.
And how old are the kids? You know, like,
Bingo.
How old are we? You know, am I 32 or am I 62? And the kids are in their 20s.
If you go with green, you could end up dead.
Well, look, if we do the restorative justice thing with the hardened criminal, we could be all right.
Wow.
Oh, red, 1000%.
Star Wars. Actually, I'd like
a
both.
lightsaber.
You know what's funny? This is probably the most divisive thing we've hit on all night. If this was
I
Star
like
Trek,
Doctor Who,
it'd be
but I
even
also
worse.
like Star Wars.
Yes, Star Wars for sure.
Yeah, Star Wars 100%. I'm
Now,
surprised this
Star-
is 32.
Star Trek versus Star Wars would be interesting.
All right, guys, this is the
One more,
last
one
one.
more.
We haven't gotten any creepy sex stuff, so hopefully we make it out without it. This is the last
Bingo.
one. Oh,
I don't even know that. I don't even know that.
Become a Spartan. I went to Michigan State. Spartan. I'm already a Spartan.
This is video games.
Spartan.
We don't do
Video
video
game.
We don't do video games. We have jobs. We're conservatives.
Yeah, I don't play video games.
Yeah, we're going to the next one on this. It won't let me do it.
I feel
Here, we'll
personally
just
attacked
click that
over
one.
here.
Oh, see, Spartans win. Spartans win.
I
Except
will
when we
say,
play
I
Purdue.
did spend all of October.
Ah, what is happening? Oh no!
Oh, you're a bot.
Broke it.
That
It
means
killed
we have
I think it wants us to stop.
Yeah.
All right, it killed us. Here we go. Last one. What? No, that's not the last one.
No, let's.
Oh,
Here we go.
Second time, we can come up with the Pythagorean theorem. Time and
Look,
correct
I've
the
seen
single
other
biggest
movies.
mistake of your life.
I'm going red because I don't think messing with the space-time continuum.
Red also.
Really?
Well,
I'm
get to be the
blue.
brain of
Go
so
way
many
back in
people's
time and
existence
come
for a
up with the
solid-
Pythagorean theorem.
I'm blue all day on this. You guys are really red.
With green,
Red.
with the blue, you don't really
do
have to go
blue.
far back.
What mistake?
You mess up one thing in that blue thing, and like you fix a mistake, and then the butterfly effect completely screws with where you are now.
You're so close to your camera right now.
Good picture.
The thing about the whole blue
Ian's like
thing is-
this close to the camera. Oh man, you guys are really red. Okay, I'm blue.
I'm
we
blue.
got 2 reds. We
I'm
got 2
blue.
blues.
Blue.
Blue.
Red,
All right.
red, red.
Okay,
The blues take it.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
you're not thinking. You're not thinking. You haven't watched the butterfly effect recently.
All right. So before we all get in trouble with whoever our stakeholders are that we get in trouble with, thank you guys so much for joining the
I'd
show
rather get
again.
in trouble.
Congratulations, Joe, on a full year. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Very impressive.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Well,
Thanks
I hope
for
we
having
can
us.
do the
Definitely.
same thing again next year, hopefully.
Amen.
We just need to let the podcast keep going.
And
And
then some.
Taylor, I got to have you back on the show soon. And Wendy's not here, but Wendy, girl, I got to have you on the show soon. Any last words anyone wants to put out before we head out?
I'm happy to
They're
come
coming.
whenever you.
They're coming for me now.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We're
Thanks,
driving
everyone.
by.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
letting
Joe.
us borrow
Yeah,
Ian
congrats.
and all the
y'all.
other spouses and significant others. Thanks for letting us steal so much of your Thursday night. That's all we got for this episode. Thank you for celebrating with us. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
I got
Peace out.